Well, here it is, the unit that I purchased. This is the Mammoth XC 7-stage air filter, and first off, I think it looks really cool. I love the look. The fit and finish on the unit is excellent. They really did a great job putting it together. I love the digital controls in the front, and they make it really simple to use, and I'll go through some of the features and some of the digital controls during this review. The first thing that I want to go through is what you actually don't see in the front here, and that's the filter system. So I'm going to turn the unit around and show you the filters and how well everything works together. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot to point out is that there is a negative ion generator in this unit right behind the front grille here, and negative ions will go out and try to attach themselves to positive ions, which are things like floating dust particles, and they will drop onto your carpet or a nearby surface, so you want to make sure that you're going to dust regularly when you're using the air filter unit. Here's the back of the unit, and replacing and servicing the filters is really quite simple. There's just this one little screw here on the top, so I'm going to take the screw off and then show you what's inside. First thing though, what I want to show you is that this is what's called the pre-filter, and a lot of units don't have a pre-filter. This will take all the large dust particles and pet hair, things like that, and catch them before they actually get to your HEPA filter. So that means the HEPA filter is going to last a heck of a lot longer. This you can take off and you can clean every once in a while, so it's really going to help you to save on money on consumables, and this is really the only consumable that you're going to have in the unit. So in order to take the HEPA filter out, you're going to have to pull on this little ribbon here, this cloth ribbon. I should say it takes a little bit of pressure to pull it out. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's good. It means that it's sealed really well around the opening of the back of the filter. So I'm going to pull this out. See, I told you it takes a little bit of pressure there. And now what I'll do is I'll describe what you see in front of you here. This is the real heart of the unit, and this is their 3-in-1 filter. Well, I've taken out the HEPA filter, and this is what you're going to want to replace probably about every 6 months if you're using it 24/7, maybe about a year if you're only using it part of the day. And of course, again, that pre-filter is going to prevent this from getting all gunked up. But this is your first line of defense. This will go ahead and take out your mold, your allergens, your pollen, everything that's going to drive you nuts. And it's very good down to 3 microns, so it's going to do a very, very good job of filtering all of the air that you breathe. Now, they don't stop there. They've got another filter, an activated carbon filter that's in back of this one. The carbon filter will take out all your contaminants, your gas, and your odors, so it's very good at doing that and making your place smell nice and fresh and clean. The next thing that they have, you might be able to see there's a slight white tinge to this little filter here, and that tinge is actually titanium dioxide, which reacts with their UV germicidal lamp here, and it creates a very bad environment for viruses and bacteria, and it kills them on contact. So that's your main components, 3-in-1. You got your HEPA, you got your carbon, you got your titanium dioxide, and also though, like I mentioned, you've got your germicidal lamp, and this is like hand sanitizer for the air. I wanted to show you guys the ozone generating plate, and this is an option that comes with the filter, and it is not necessary to use this plate in order for the filter to work. This is totally an option, and if you want to install it, you can. One thing about high concentrations of ozone is they've found that it's not necessarily good for you, so you want to use this option when you're not in that room or not at home, and that's where the real beauty of this unit comes in. You can set the timer, have the ozone going off while you're not home, give it time to dissipate before you get home, and you come home to a nice, clean, fresh smelling house. I should say that here in California, ozone is banned, and we routinely ban things that are practical or fun. So you can take that with a grain of salt. I use ozone when I've done something really smelly in the kitchen. There's nothing better to dissipate that smell than an ozone generating plate. Now the way that you use it is that you just line up these arrows with the front of the unit. So we're going to go ahead and put it in. There's a little slot that's right to the left of the UV germicidal lamp. We're going to push all the way in, and there you go. You're ready to use your ozone. So here's a quick overview of the buttons that you'll see down here on the front panel. They've laid everything out really nicely, and it's very simple to operate. The upper left hand corner, you've got the power button, and that turns it on to the very lowest level of the fan. Now of course, if you want the fan to be higher, you notice that it has a up arrow key, down arrow key, and all you have to do is press and it goes to a next level. It gets, it can really move some air. And you'll notice here that there's a little icon of a fan blade, and every time you push the button, the icon will go up one more little setting. And the very high setting, if you can still hear me, I mean, this is really moving a lot of air. I'm going to bring it down to the lowest setting. And on the lowest setting, it really isn't that noisy, and you can have it in the same room as like a TV set, carry on conversations. Really quite nice. You've got your germicidal UV lamp, and I leave that on actually all the time, and you notice that the little UV lamp LED goes on there to tell you that you're using the sterilizing lamp. The unit timer will go to in just a second, and the set time will go into just a second. Of course, we've gone over the fan, and if you want to use the ozone, you can. And there's a simple display here that tells you what level of ozone you're on. And of course, there's the first level, and as I push the button, of course, the LEDs will go across the top telling me what level of ozone output I'm actually on. And that's, of course, the highest level. If you want to go back down or turn it off, just use the little button that's next to the down arrow key here. As I go all the way down, if I push it one more time, it'll turn the ozone off. So now we're going to go through how you actually set the timer and use the ozone and other features while you're out of the house. Well, as promised, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set the timer to the correct day in order to use the ozone feature. So we're going to push set time for about 2 seconds. You notice it flashes. We're going to use the fan and the ozone to set the minutes and the hour. So it's actually 11:45. I'll go to 11 and I'll use the ozone and put it all the way to 45 and drive you nuts with the beeping. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on how to set the timer on the unit. First of all, you've got to turn the power on. Right now my digital display says that it's 3:11 in the afternoon. Let's say that I want my ozone to go on at 3:15 and off at 3:30. First thing you do is you press set time until the display starts to flash, and then you're going to scroll on through the options until you get ozone timer on. So I'm going to go ahead, whoops, I don't want 4. I want 3, and then I want 15, so I'm going to go all the way to 15. I'm going to press set time one more time. It's going to go ozone off, and I'm going to say that I want it to go off at 3:30. Come on, 3:30. There you go. I'm going to go ahead and press set time one more to make those changes permanent, and then I'm going to press ozone timer. And you notice the ozone timer will flash on and off. So now it'll go on at 3:15. And it will go off at 3:30. I do want to turn my ozone on to whatever level I want the ozone to be at when the ozone timer goes on. So that's how you set the ozone option while you're out of the house. And one thing I do want to mention that I didn't mention before is that the unit also comes with a really nice remote control to help you with some of the major functions. Well, I hope that you guys found this little mini review helpful, and if you're looking for an air filter system that's full featured at a very reasonable cost, you might want to give the Mammoth XC series a try. I know personally that I've been able to reduce the amount of allergy medication that I take on a daily basis ever since I've used the filter, so for me it's been a very, very good purchase. So thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.